Yeah.
All right, guys. So
What are we learning today?
we were talking about the Industrial Revolution. Getting right to it, man. I appreciate it.
All right.
All right, man. So this is going to show life before the Industrial Revolution. So I need a volunteer to. You notice this woman right here?
Yeah.
She's looking at this.
Okay.
And I want you guys, so she's sitting along the countryside. I want someone to tell me, what does she see and how do you think she feels? Go ahead, Jack.
She said smoke pollution.
So she's seeing pollution. All right. She's seeing pollution. She's sitting in this nice countryside that she's used to living in. Something's happening. What's going on?
I think she feels bad because she sees all that smoke and it's like kind of hurting like all the trees and it's like filling up all the good air that we breathe in.
All right. Yeah. She's seeing pollution. Stuff going on. What you got next?
She could feel like that because she could think like soon those factors will soon come and like she won't have a countryside and like there's not going to be any country anymore.
Jay.
Isn't it something like sea pollution?
Sea pollution. Yep. So you've got some pollution going on. Jeff, go ahead.
I think she feels sad because all the smoke and steam that's coming out of the factories is like polluting the air and it's like destroying the countryside.
All right. So what that's called when you transition from a rural, it's called R-U-R-A-L. It's a very hard word to pronounce. It's like the countryside, another word for country. So when you transition from that to like cities, I mean this happens in Charlotte, it happens all over the United States. That's called urbanization. So during the Industrial Revolution, how did urbanization negatively impact people and nature? You guys have kind of already touched on that with all your answers so far. So these are the words that we're going to focus on today. Urbanization is what I just talked about. When you transition from the countryside to cities. There's two different kinds of evils we're going to talk about. Social evils and environmental. When you guys are talking about the smog and her being angry and sad and all that because of the pollution and all the smoke and everything, and then getting the countryside turned into a city, that would be an environmental evil. The environment is impacted in a negative way. The social evil would actually affect the people. And that would be a tenement. Now a tenement is another word for like apartments. Well, these were apartments back then where you'd have like a single room and like half of your apartment, your tenement, would be, I think he's gonna have a photo of it, is gonna be like your kitchen, your dining room, everything, and the other half is where you live in, but these are really cramped areas. You have no bathroom, you have to share it with like everybody else on your floor. I mean, you have whole families that are gonna be in like one apartment room, one room. And I got a buddy who goes to, and this is up in like, a good example of this would be like New York City. New York City was a big city back then. And a lot of apartments are kind of still like this now. Like my buddy would live in an apartment probably about the same size, but he's living in it by himself. And it's modernized, it's much nicer. He's got his computer, his TV, all that stuff in there in a very small area. But this is, you have like terrible conditions in one whole family. I mean, look at this. I mean, this looks terrible. There's stuff all over the place, and she doesn't look very happy at all. You have a whole family living in it. And this would be New York back then. Look at all of the, just like the traffic, all the people around, and all that stuff. It's just so congested. It's kind of like if you guys would be driving on like 77 during like rush hour. It's like that, but that would be in the middle of a city. So you have people walking around. I mean, I think there's stuff all over the place. Look at all these people just in one area. Super unsafe. I mean, I bet you this is really high off the ground. You got kids up in the air. It's a tough situation. So this would be like an example of this now. So this is in some country, and an example I have in my own life, I went down to Honduras on a mission trip when I was in high school twice. And this is what I would see in their downtown area. So people, I mean, you're taking like scraps, like you have all this, that'd be like a trash. I don't know what that is. So that would be like, yeah, that would be the junkyard over there we just saw with all this trash and everything. So you would have people, and they would take all these scraps because they don't have much else. They're living in very rundown situations, and you'd be building houses out of it, which is unbelievable. Here's an example right here. Now this, what do you guys think all this is right here? Trash, water, it's human waste, exactly. Max, that's correct. It actually is human waste. That's urine, and that's very big. That's what that is. So what you guys are actually going to do, we're going to do it after fit, is you guys are actually going to draw an example to kind of rationalize and see it in your own terms. You guys have the sheets of what exactly happened during these 100 years. Here you go, Austin. Here you go, man. Come in. Okay, no. So you guys are actually going to be able to look at this and see exactly what happened and have your own example and just see how really bad it is. I mean, I can tell you guys, tell blue in the face what's going on, but when you guys can actually see it on your own sheet of paper, I think it's really going to bring it full circle for you guys. You guys are going to draw. We're not going to do it quite yet, but yeah, you guys are going to use these as a key. So you guys are going to be drawing, like, you'll see, multiple houses, multiple tenants. You guys are going to, this is one thing that I want to tell you guys even before we get to that, and I'm going to repeat myself. You guys are going to use this entire sheet. You guys are going to use the entire sheet. We had people in the first block that were drawing like this outline on their actual sheet. This is an outline of the entire sheet. So use the entire sheet, okay? I know there's a little bit of confusion in the first block, but that's just the main thing I can say. And also, I know some of you guys, great artists and everything, if you want to draw big, descript, like houses and churches, draw them pretty small, like, you know, so you can still like tell what they are, but you have to fit a lot of them on the sheet. So just keep that in mind, right? I think pretty much it for right now.
All right.